is Eric from Resume Link Plus, and I just want to say hello to everyone and thank you for joining me here today. Last week we hit a milestone. We had 50 subscribers to the YouTube channel, which is I am very grateful for. So thank you, and I appreciate it, and I really hope that you enjoy and you're loving the content and learning something from the content. Again, please, if you think someone else that you know can benefit from the content, please tell them to go to Resume Link Plus on YouTube, and please like or subscribe. So today's topic of discussion is, in my experience, I generally see only one kind of resume being used. And what I mean by that is, when someone has me do a resume makeover, the resume that they usually give me to make over is one format or one style of resume. And the thing about that, in which a lot of people don't know, and it's common, and nothing's wrong with that, but there is really no one size fits all approach when it comes to resume writing. So the resume document itself, it really is a marketing tool that's specifically catered to every individual situation. And because of that, that's the reason why it's no one size fits all when it comes to resumes. Today I'm going to discuss with you two different styles that serve two different purposes, with the hopes that if you are someone that wants to write your own resume, you can now use that new information in order to do so. And if you would like a professional to do it, like myself, Resume Link Plus, then we obviously specialize in all of the different formats, and there's a multitude of different formats, but today we're just going to touch upon two. So the first resume format that we're going to discuss today is the chronological format. So this format is what 99 times out of 100 that I see when I'm doing a resume makeover. Most people have the chronological style resume, and this resume follows exactly as the name suggests. So it goes in chronological order based upon time, and it normally follows the pattern of, it has a header, there's a summary, there's a work history, education, then under that sometimes affiliation, certifications, yada yada yada, whatever additional things that someone think is going to support them in putting themselves above another candidate. Fine. The focus of a chronological resume is that it highlights what you have done. So what do I mean by that? Well, this resume is supposed to demonstrate that over a period of time that you have started in one position along the same career path, and you've progressively moved up to higher positions. You've honed your skills over that particular time, maybe a 10-year time span. And it also suggests that throughout your career, you were promoted, someone gave you an opportunity with more responsibility, and now you're trying to demonstrate either internally that you deserve a promotion, or externally that you're looking for another position that's similar or higher responsibility. Now, this style is fine if that is actually how your work history progressed. So if for like me, for example, I'll use myself. Within my human resources career, I started out and I was human resources manager for one store, and that store had about 150 employees. Then I moved up to where I was the human resources manager covering two stores, and combined they probably had about 250, 300 people. And now I have 27 sites, and there's about 500 plus people that I support as human resources. So for me, a chronological style resume is what works, because that's going to highlight my steps and my responsibility. Now, where you wouldn't use this is a couple examples. So let's say you had gaps in your employment. Let's say you are switching careers totally, or you just move through a lot of different career fields for whatever reason, or you haven't held down positions for very long, maybe a couple months here, a couple months there, things like that, for whatever reason, whatever. If you do a chronological style resume with that type of work history, it's not going to reflect as positive upon you as you would like, because it's going to show that it's all over the place. It's going to show gaps. It's going to be glaring that there's gaps. It's going to be glaring that you moved around. So while the hiring manager is reading it, they're going to notice these things as well. But don't worry. In the case that you will not be highlighted properly by using a chronological style resume, there is a different format, and it's called a functional style resume. This style resume is different from the chronological order because it doesn't follow a chronological order necessarily. So it does have a header, just like the chronological resume. It does have a summary, but the next thing that it goes into is your accomplishments, and then it goes into your work history. And sometimes your education is placed in between here if it is within the field that you're applying to, and it would highlight that you have that educational background, and then your work history would go last. The reason why it is designed like this is so that if I'm an employer and I pick this up, I'm not immediately going to see, as I would in a chronological resume, that you possibly have gaps in employment or that you're completely switching careers. The first thing I'm going to see after looking at your header, your summary, which is going to be catered specifically to that job that you're looking for, is I'm going to see your accomplishments. So it takes the focus off of a progressive timeline of work history and puts it on what I'm trying to focus on your resume, which is what have you accomplished? What competencies do you have that fit this job? So I take a look at that, and then your education, and then I take a look at your work history after that. But you've already impressed me, because despite your work history, which I'm gonna find out anyway, and we're not trying to hide it here, we're just trying to get your resume not tossed based just strictly upon looking at your work history first, like the chronological style does. So now I'm like, okay, this person doesn't have that progression, how I guess a lot of people have. However, they've accomplished some things despite whatever their situation with their work history. That suggests to me that they probably can reproduce those results at the company that I'm hiring for. So in closing, I hope that I've demonstrated the difference between a chronological style resume and between a functional resume. Put it simply, one is when you show what you have done, and the other is when you're showing what you could do. Chronological, functional. So, thank you for joining me here today. And if you need assistance with your resume and you haven't done a functional style, which a lot of people haven't done, then I hope this video is helpful. You can actually look on the internet and they have some examples up there. However, if you want it professionally done, remember Resume Link Plus, www.resumelink+, or Eric@resumelinkplus.com if you want to email me and I most definitely can do that resume for you.